y'all, welcome to Agita News and happy Saturday and happy July 27th. Okay, so it's been a very, very newsy week. We are post the Mueller testimony. We're post so many things at this point and in the middle of a big mess. Mostly a mess from Donald Trump's tweeting. So I didn't watch the news today. No, I didn't. I didn't have plans to. I didn't watch the news yesterday. I caught a little bit of it last night, and I thought I'm just gonna stay away from the news because I didn't want to fall down the rabbit hole and literally just run, buried down there. It's nasty. It's like a cesspool. The news is just so incredibly fast-paced, and so much garbage is coming at us that it's really hard to weed and find the good. So I really couldn't believe when I saw Victor Blackwell this morning on CNN. I mean, I really do enjoy Saturday mornings because it's kind of light. They have bright spots and Saturday, and Victor is the type of person who's just very straight, just gives the news. But I literally just, my heart just, and I thought, when will we say Donald Trump has gone too far? When he stands on the corner of 5th Avenue in the middle of 5th Avenue and shoots somebody? Because that's what this man said he can do. He can shoot somebody. And he wouldn't lose a voter. See, you cannot talk about a race, a creed, a culture, a neighborhood as infested. No. Infestation. Infestation. Infested means subhuman. Means bugs. Means insects. It means maggots. It means, think of everything that people get infested with. Roaches, bugs, maggots, fleas. This is the same rhetoric. I'm sorry. This is the same rhetoric that Hitler used. Trump is systematically going about following a playbook from Hitler. If he can dehumanize what he considers a subgroup of human beings because they're not white, then he wins. Now, I always said, I know that Donald Trump is a racist. Whether he believes he's a racist or not, he is, because I've never heard him say to a white person, go back to your country. So that makes him a racist, okay? I've always known that he's just faking it till he makes it. I've always known that he's got some good intentions for the country, but he's going to do it his way, the Donald's way, which is a little bit uncharacteristic of what people are used to as president. So there's only so much that people are going to put up with. Now, are they going to be able to impeach him? No. He's in like flame. He's in. He's got too much dirt on everybody in the government. Every Republican and every Democrat. He's got too much on all of them, which is why Nancy Pelosi is just playing footsie back and forth with you. We got time, we're gonna impeach him, we got time, it's okay, we are gonna impeach him. Donald, these are horrible things you're saying, they're impeachable, they're unprecedented, they're good. I don't wait. Because he's got scoop on her, and she knows it. It's gonna take Congress folks like the squad, as they are referred to. It only takes four members of Congress to write a little letter to the Speaker of the House. And then the representative of the House then has to look at it, and they have to proceed. So all this that they're going on with is just political theater. Because if it really only takes 4 people looking at the articles of impeachment and bringing them forward. Okay, so once they write that letter and say we want to impeach, 4 of us do. That's it. They got to proceed. So for some reason they're getting held up. And we have to ask ourselves why. If we were in the Democratic Party or the Independent Party, or if we're a Republican and we really don't like what Donald's doing, we're in the regretful group. Like maybe we voted for him, but we're like, oh, what was I thinking? You know, we're in the regretful Republicans that voted, regretful Democrats that voted for. We got to ask ourselves, what's he up to? Well, he's smart as a fox. He knows exactly what he's up to. So I've heard people talk about, well, he must be really dumb. No, he's not dumb. He's naive. He's smart like a fox. But I think he's trying to play a hand that's going to blow up in his face in regards to Kim Jong Un. They're just little missiles he's playing with. Got a good relationship with Chairman Onion. yeah, Young Un, whatever. You got a good relationship with him, but he's playing with his missiles, and he doesn't like being patted on the back like he's a good little boy, and you're enamored of him. Oh, no. So, post Mueller report, he turned out to be a man of few words, which I knew he would be. I read his report. Every single thing that was needful was in that report. It really was. There's nothing else to say. What else? I found some of the Congress to be kind of disrespectful to him, I thought. There's no need for anybody there to say, just answer the question. No. Not after he listened to people. And you know who you are, who did it. You know who you are. Just answer the question. Yeah, right. Would you care to read? Go to chapter 2 and read that. No, you read it. The man has been saying all along. The OLC tied my hands. I can't charge a sitting president. Here are all the charges. You can. The people can and you can. There you go. Boom. No, you read my report to me. I know what I wrote. And I thought maybe when he was doing that little bit of, what's the question again? Repeat the question. Where? Who? Running the clock out, man. He's smart. He wasn't a befuddled, witness. No. And I thought he was very, very, very helpful in really letting, affirmative, accurate, yeah, definitely. This is a crime. This is a crime. That's crime. This would be a crime. Not when he's president, but when he leaves office, he would be charged with this. Yes. Is this obstruction? Yes. Now, when I read the report on my own, I thought I counted 12 different aspects of obstruction of justice, where Jeffrey Sessions was being asked to unrecuse himself, the many numerous times that jumps, and then Donald Jr. was involved, and then Hope Hicks, and then McCann. I thought I came to 12 separate times, but they came up with 10 times. So I think what I may have misunderstood is acts of like bribery, or really just trying hard to make a person look the other way. I don't know, and that's why they had the testimony come, so that people that read it could not get confused by it. And I felt like I read it very well. I looked up all the words. If I didn't understand something, I looked up what it meant in legal mumbo jumbo, and asked a lot of friends of mine that are lawyers, hey, what does this mean? And it was interesting because a lot of the lawyers that I talked to, some of them didn't read it, and some of them were like, it was left kind of ambiguous at the end to be it was like an open interpretation at the end, and I thought, that's not what I got from it. So I was really glad that he came and clarified, so that people could not misinterpret or just say, well, there's so much redacted black stuff there, I don't know, so I'm not going to read it. Oh, what does it mean? Or just read the conclusion like our president, not mine, but yours, or the one sitting in the office, the one I have to respect as president, pray for as a leader, every day. And pray grace that he gets better and does better for all the people, not just some of the people. That man there, he just read the conclusion, which came to no collusion, no crimes. However, the word collusion is not a legal term. Conspiring is. And there was tons of conspiring, plotting, planning, cohorting, concocting, fabricating alternate realities, according to Kelly Conway, just alternate perspectives. So, I mean, that was just really difficult. It's been really difficult to see the racist remarks he's been making. It's been really difficult to watch him kick the can down the street and walk things back and threaten people and bring so much angst into people's life and fear when it's already an anxious world to live in. So I pray for him a lot. Moving right along from Donald Trump news and the Mueller testifying and infestation and all of it. The detainment centers. I'm wondering what's going on with those 4 new detainment centers that they have built with the surplus money. I'm wondering how people are being processed. I think we really need to stay checks and balances on top of that. Reporters need to keep going there. Congress needs to keep going there, and I hope they will. 2, I'm keeping my eye on Kim Jong Un. I'm waiting for 3, Ghislaine Maxwell, Madam Maxwell, implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein case, sex trafficker, pedophile, pervert, criminal. I'm waiting for her book to be open. She was implicated in 2005, and again in 2007, and then again in 2015, with being a recruiter, with knowing full well and taking part in the crimes that Jeffrey Epstein did, being aware of all the crimes he did and being a part of that. That's a big part of it. And she gave up names. But those names were sealed in 2015. Those books were sealed. And she's just dropped off the face of the earth. She had a big ocean project called Terra Project, a big website that devoted awareness to friendlier oceans and cleaner oceans and thriving oceans where fish could thrive and live and not be fished where there was breeding and not be not have garbage and just thrown in it. And really a beautiful website that was very, very active, and last week it completely came down. She's nowhere to be seen. You can find videos out on YouTube. I've posted a few of them on Facebook of Ghislaine Maxwell, speaking about her love for the ocean and being a young girl and watching Jacques Cousteau and wanting to dive with him. Now, she does have a helicopter license. She also can fly jet airplanes, Boeing 747s and all those big planes. She's got a two-pilot license. And she also can operate submarines, which is very interesting. So yeah, and a lot of her work was going to be with trying to build community through the ocean with Korea. Kim Jong Un, yeah, him. It's just also bizarre. A lot of people are saying she is an operative for the Mossad, and I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. Others are saying she's got Teflon status, and everyone's looking the other way. And I kind of believe that. A lot of people were very worried, and so was I, when got the news that Jeffrey Epstein was found in a fetal position with blue-faced and with bruises all over his neck, that he had either tried to hang himself, tried to kill himself, or somebody had tried to hurt him. There's quite a few folks that are calling it the red scarf syndrome. People that are just found with bandanas, belts, and red scarves around their neck. They're either exercise bands, red scarves, or red belts. So there's a whole group of people that believe the shadow gov, or people that are involved in the elite and the Illuminati, are killing these people that are really not the perv pedophiles. There's two sides. There's a whole bunch of people that believe the pedophiles are really just all the Clintons and the Democrats and not Trump. And then there's a bunch of people that believe, well, Trump was hanging with that crowd, but, you know, but no. Harvey Weinstein, you know, Kevin Spacey, pedogate, all that, Pizzagate, pedogate, whatever the heck you want to call it, has all been just from the monarchy down with Democrats and the elite of Hollywood and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of people that believe that Donald Trump actually turned Jeffrey Epstein in back in 2005-06, that he kind of got in touch with folks and said, hey, he's got young girls going on the Lolita Express, he's got this, he's got that, and that they parted ways in 2005-06, right about the time he was getting charged. I don't know, I don't believe it. I see too many pictures of Donald Trump out there with Melania Trump post when he was supposed to break ties with Ghislaine Maxwell at events where also Jeffrey Epstein was. So they made sure not to take photos together, which was pretty bright and shiny of them for people that really like to get the photo taken a lot. They made sure to be, you know, not to keep him out of the camera, but they had enough people around that associated with Jeffrey and around Melania and Donald Trump. That you would think if you're going to break ties with Jeffrey Epstein during the time period that he's going down for crimes, wouldn't you break ties with the main person that's setting up all the girls? At the same time, Donald Trump had a modeling agency of a bunch of young girls that he always got together for events. So they're looking at all of that. I don't really care about that anymore. I know the names are going to come out. I want to know what happened to E.G. and Carol. What happened to her allegations towards Donald Trump. I want to know what's going on with Bill Clinton. Why was he 26 times on the Lolita Express? I'm pretty certain Hillary Clinton was also. That wouldn't surprise me. I think there's going to be a lot of high-powered women that were really close to these people, that were we're getting closer and closer to the elite circle of folks that used young children for their orgies. That's what they used them from, orgies and sexual pleasure and all kinds of evil. So, so a lot is being exposed. So the news has been pretty hard to take, and for those of us that trigger easily, it's been even harder to take. I'm looking forward to the debates, but realizing that this is probably the last of the debates we'll ever see, because I really think we're going towards a one world government, and that is because God's kingdom is going to come to this earth and line up all the leaders, and it's going to be a one world order. But I do want to talk about the debates, because I do love a smart debate. But I think really as voters, if you still choose to vote, whether you're a person of conscientious choice, maybe you're a Jehovah's Witness, or you know in your heart that there's our Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, is coming to this earth, and that Yeshua, Jesus Christ, came to this earth to show people a new government, a new kingdom, not to give them a new religion. If you really understand that in your heart, then you might feel like, well, I don't want to vote. But I think when Yeshua said, stay, occupy, and be about the good news, occupy the time until he returns, I think he meant be about the process. if you're gonna say you don't believe in voting or whatever, then you can't really be part of the process and giving your opinion about the country and everything. So I mean, I'm looking to what Puerto Rico got done this week by overturning the government and getting Governor Rossello out of there. That's kind of interesting to me. They are the United States. They're the islands, but they're part of the United States. So they overturned the government. That's pretty powerful. And that should be a model for what's going to happen. The people are going to rise up. And what's going on in Hong Kong? Look at what's going on in Hong Kong. All the people protesting. It's pretty wild. I really just believe that the people are going to rise up. We're going to have enough is enough is enough. When I see newsmen breaking down on the news over and over again, and people like just going, people that the news is too much for the newscasters. It's too much for all of them. And yes, Victor Blackwell was very professional. And I've seen Don Lemon be to the end of his rope too. I've seen so many women reporters, just so many gay reporters be like, I was reading a thread the other day where a beautiful, beautiful father to a man of color, a black man married to a Spanish man, beautiful children, got married. They were able to adopt under the Obama administration. I was just silently watching the thread as he worried about what's in the future for him, his family, and a very white gay man didn't understand why he was worrying about Donald Trump having 4 more years. And that kind of blew me away because Donald Trump is not for the gay community or the trans community or anyone of color at all. You look very closely into Donald Trump, he's got a special brain. He's got special genes, and his kids do too. But getting back to the debates, which is what is coming up and all the news is going towards, I noticed last week they were drawing for who was going to be on stage and who was going to debate who. And that really, really just befuddled me because since the last debate, the news has only been about, well, Julian Castro has finally come to the front a little. He kind of flexed his muscles a little bit, told us a little bit more what he was planning, and he's at least on the radar. Marianne Williamson has got people's attention a little bit. Could be for the weird factor or the spiritual factor or whatever. I'm very interested in what she has to say. I think she's right on target for a lot of things. Elizabeth Warren has a plan for everything, and Bernie is kind of falling off the edge of, he's just going down. Didn't have enough money for everybody. I don't know. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that's what came out of the debates. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Ooh, Joe's going to take his gloves off now. That's the plan. He looked back at the film and thought, I was entirely too nice. Yeah, I was too nice. I should have stuck up for myself. Okay. What if they didn't pull Kamala Harris's name out of the box at CNN for who's going to share a stage and what night? What if they didn't pull Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's name out of the box for the same night? Voters would be left with that incident and 1 month of nonstop news about it in their head. And if we think that that doesn't affect our decision making, we're kidding ourselves. It's been in the news non-stop. Kamala Harris, I was that girl in California. Joe Biden, well, I felt what? Okay. Joe Biden had been putting his foot in his mouth for about 3 weeks leading up to and kept getting corrected. So he was just standing there like a schoolboy that first debate. And Kamala Harris was schooling him. But now he's going to take his gloves off and he's ready. I don't want to see anybody take their gloves off. I want to see everybody on the same freaking stage do a whole night, because what's going to happen now if you've got a few people going back and forth with a healthcare thing and they're really, explaining it and they're saying, well, this won't work with that, blah, blah, blah. But now they can't get back together because you picked the wrong name out. I mean, I know that the voting doesn't all go by debate, but it is a big factor. Ever since Kennedy and John F. Kennedy and Nixon did the first televised debate, it really did throw the votes. Had people just heard it on the radio, they might have actually voted more for Richard Nixon. But because the way he came off looking and acting, body language and appearance and everything going on that stage really matters now, because we've all gotten very lazy and we've all gotten very used to looking at who looks more put together, who's thinking on their feet, who's got an answer like that, who's got a quick comeback, what. So I really don't like the way this is going down. I mean, the Republicans did it with 17 people. I don't know, maybe they could have them do a face-off, maybe put, 27 or something, so maybe put 9 on each side or something, because I think it's 27 now, or have it be like a circle where they kind of can look at each other and call on, have maybe more moderators, and just make it be an all-out 4 hours. How about 6 hours? Yeah, 6 hours. Get a bunch of moderators in there that are going to rotate. Because I don't like this 2 nights in a row where they get to pick out of the box who's going to get to debate who, when. They may never get back together to have any congruent thought. I don't like that. I don't like it. So that's where I'm at with the debates. What else? Looking forward to seeing Ghislaine Maxwell's books open up and find out who the heck and what and where. I really want them to keep Jeffrey Epstein alive. Oh, number 4, number 5, number 6. Sherra Robinson Wright pleaded guilty 9-10 years later after the death of LorenzenWright, her husband, her high school sweetheart, who they had 6 children together. And I might add, her 6 children stood by her all the time, believing her, because what she told her children was that their father was still living the thug life, and he was doing drugs, and he was beating her, and this and that and the other. He was having affairs. There were a lot of people out there that from the start said, no, Sherra had something to do with it. But there was one lady who calls herself an intuitive psychic who listens to the voice of God in her heavenly team. Again, her name is Abigail. I said I don't have permission to give her full name, but she has been a real blessing in my life. And I don't understand open channeling. I understand the Holy Spirit and the Holy Spirit talking to people and gifts of the Spirit. But some could say, well, if you're talking to angels and you're talking to guides and whatever, you're talking to dead people. No, they're just on a different plane. They're just in a different realm. They're in a different bodily form. So Abigail is an open channel, and she is a healer. She's a therapist who works with people on past traumas, and she's a wellness coach, and she does a lot of work. She does pro bono, and then she does sessions. And I met her right about the time Prince had been announced passed away, which we know, many of us know, he did not die the way the news is telling us he died. Well, Abigail was one of the first to say, well, we know he was murdered. And she knew that Prince came to her directly. She wasn't a groupie. She wasn't a... She knew, okay, that's that guy from Purple Rain. But that's all she really knew about it. She knew he was an artist. He was a good singer. She knew some of the music. She never went to a show or anything. And he came to her within 36 hours of his murder and told her exactly how he died. And 2 years after the investigation, everything that Abigail said on her first live video came out in the report, right down to the family and type of drug and how many drugs would be found in his system and where his laptop would be found in his home and where his juice would be on his bedside and in the kitchen and what would be in his refrigerator and who saw him last. And she also worked on the case years ago, back in 2010, 11, 14, and again 15, and all. She never stopped working on the LorenzenWright case because she lived in Memphis. And she went and met his mother and his sister and his grandma, and she knew about Billy. She called him Big Billy Turner. She knew about another guy named Freddie. She knew about another guy named Jimmy. She knew the people he was with. She knew that his phone, that he had 2 phones, and that he tried desperately to get to his second phone and he lost one. She knew that it would be found in the river where it was, in the body of water where it was. She knew the car that was sold. She knew that Cherie would go back and look for the phone. She knew that Cherie set him up with his best high school friend. She knew that he knew he was going to get shot, that he was getting set up, that he was going to die the minute he got in that car. He knew. And she talked to the DA, she talked to the FBI twice, she talked to the Memphis police, she talked to so many people. This is why I'm saying there's a lot of people that have what's called Teflon status, where the police just look the other way. The police just don't. Don't look the other way. So I can remember when I first met Abigail online and Facebook, her talking about the LorenzenWright case, and I was like, oh, wasn't it that baseball player that they, went missing and then they found his body or whatever? But she knew everything, and his wife, his former wife, Cherie was getting ready to write a tell-all book, and she was living her life like everything was going great, She was seeing other people, getting married, dating, and writing a book about everything. And Abigail said, no, she's going to be in an orange suit. They're going to pick her up. There it is. So I do believe that everything that she has said about Prince Roger Nelson, Prince the musician, is true. I also believe that everything that she said about, and people can be wrong, but I believe a lot of what she said is coming true. So I do look at the news kind of holistically that way. I look at it through the eyes of God the Father, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, what I know to be the promises of God of what is really going on, the spiritual warfare that's really going on, and what's going to have to happen in the heavenlies and on this earth for God's kingdom to come to this earth, this perfect flowing government, and how it's going to look like chaos and confusion, but peace doesn't look very peaceful. It always looks chaotic. So to bring peace, it's going to look a little chaotic. To line everything up in order, it's going to be all over the place, a little scattered for a while. And then I look at the spiritual that I don't understand, but I'm willing to understand. And I think really what, because I understand, I get feelings about things, and I have always been intuitive in a dreamful state. Like I dream, I see visions and dream dreams. I've always done that, and I dream in symbol and in flight beforehand. And sometimes things come true right away, and sometimes I'm waiting 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then it's always just for, I call them preparation dreams. So what I've been dreaming about lately is the Pope. The Pope making a big announcement. I don't think it has to do with his death. I think he is sick. I think he's going to be changing the church in big ways, because I've been dreaming about pink, the color pink, 3 nights in a row now, and I get a little further with it in each dream, and I wake up and I journal it right away, and I talk to God, and it's mostly been that there's going to be a dismantling a little bit of the church. Women are going to become priests. Priests are going to be getting married and having children, and the hierarchy of the Catholic Church is going to start to come down, and this Pope is going to bring that down. That's what I've been dreaming. So the Pope, although he is sick, the Pope is very political. Kim Jong Un has been in my dreams. And when I see him in my dreams, I see black and white status, which I mean, like if you're watching a black and white TV or a film that's crackling. And for me, that always means I need to look back at something he said or did, and I'll understand why I'm seeing that. I have to go backwards. When I see black and white that's very still and clear in my dream, and I'm moving towards it, and then it turns to sudden color, that is always a sign to me that it is happening really quick. It's going to happen really fast. So, I mean, I take all the news with a grain of salt, knowing that I see news as it unfolds in my dreams. Other people are open channels. Some people actively conjure, but then I really want to look closer at what conjuring means, because some people could say, well, when people pray, they conjure. They're asking for something. They're going to God, and they're saying, I'm going to fast for you to do this. I'm going to this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to wait on you, and I'm going to keep repeating your promises to you until I get my way, until your promises come true. So some people think of prayer as conjuring, which is why Jehovah's Witnesses don't pray for specific needs. They always pray God's will be done. They don't go to God and say, God, my mother's sick or my grandmother's sick, please make her well, or she's going in for a procedure today, please take care of it. They wouldn't even think of praying that way. They don't. They just say, we're lifting up this person before you, your will be done. That's it. No specifics. Because otherwise that's seen as conjuring. A lot of religions don't believe in telling God what to do. or saying his promises. Even though his promises are he'll heal, he'll be there, he'll listen, he's our very present help in time of danger. He's this, he's that, he's so many things to us. He's a physician, he's a counselor, he's a ruler, he's the final judge, he's the knower of everything, he's justice, he is justice. A lot of different religions will just tell you, no, just pray God's will be done. And that's a good thing too. So I've been keeping it at, I know what God's promises are. That's how I look at the news. I know God's promises are true. I know that God doesn't lie. I know that God's kingdom is going to come to this earth. I know that everybody has a mansion in heaven. Everybody is a citizen in heaven. This is not our home. We're not really of this earth, but we have to be on this earth, but we don't have to be of this earth. So we have to follow all the laws and render to Caesar what is Caesar's. So pray for our leaders. So I just do all that and watch the news and kind of cipher it through all that. And then what I dream and what I hear other people that I know that they're right on with stuff, like Abigail. So I don't have her permission to use her name. I know that she has her own website, so I'll just wait to get her permission and then I'll put her website down there. But if you just look up Abigail, look up Prince or Abigail or LorenzenWright or Abigail, and it'll lead you right to her website, okay? And that's all. I'll ask her permission to see if I can talk about her when I make videos. Just like, mention her. I don't want to piggyback off her followers or whatever. I don't care if I ever get another subscriber to this channel. I'm just doing this mostly for me to get the news off my chest. I'm calling it Agita News because it gives me heartburn and it repeats and repeats and repeats. And I just want to get it off my chest so I'm not belching it all day and status posting it all over Facebook. So, looking forward to the debates and hardly looking. I'll be looking like this, like one eye. Nancy Pelosi is doing complete theater, political theater right now. Hong Kong is a hot mess. Jeffrey Epstein needs to stay alive. Ghislaine Maxwell, where are you? That kind of thing, yeah. And Donald Trump, just lay off the Twitter. Please, please be a president for all the people and stop talking about people as if they're bugs that need to be squashed or sprayed or killed. Stop it. Okay, I'm done. Thanks. Have a nice day. It's 7/27, 2019, 8:14 p.m. and I'm gonna go finish up everything I gotta do here and get on with my day. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Bye.